I was dating this girl for 5 to 6 years, right? She ended up getting pregnant. I signed the birth certificate because the dad did not want to. Why would I go get a child that's not mine? And why would I take care of a child outside of what I'm already paying?
Was this a planned pregnancy? Because there's really only two outcomes on this. If it was planned, then you were planning on being the father. All right, so y'all got to hear about this little debacle that this person seems to have found themselves in, because they have a little issue with an ex that is currently going on, where they might have gotten themselves, in the words of Jada, entangled.
I was dating this girl for 5 to 6 years, right? She ended up getting pregnant. I signed the birth certificate because the dad did not want to. Our relationship did not work. She ended up dating the baby daddy again. And now they put me on child support for that kid. Shit is crazy. Okay. Tell me if I'm wrong, but for the ones that's saying I should go get my child, why would I go get a child that's not mine? And why would I take care of a child outside of what I'm already paying? Okay, so boom.
Hold on. All right, so yeah, okay, so boom, gotcha. Let's kind of go through this one just a little bit.
I was dating this girl for 5 to 6 years, right?
All right, you heard that part. In between them dating 5-6 years, the girl gets pregnant. The girlfriend. I'm guessing is this the top?
I wonder.
She ended up getting pregnant.
Was this a planned pregnancy? Because there's really only two outcomes on this. If it was planned, then you were planning on being the father.
Why would you do that?
But if it wasn't planned, then that means that she stepped out on you and then went back to the ex, got pregnant, but you still ended up signing the birth certificate.
I signed the birth certificate because the dad did not want to.
Why? I can only imagine that there's also only two reasons why, because you guys either came to an agreement that it was going to be y'all's baby and he has no involvement in the situation. All he's there to do is just provide the necessary recipe in order to get your girlfriend pregnant. But if it was the other situation of the two of them stepping aside and kind of pushing you to the side, and then they had their little involvement, that's just a little too sticky, isn't it?
Relationship did not work. She ended up dating the baby daddy again. And now they put me on child support.
I know that according to the law, based on whoever's name is technically on the paper, that sign that says, yes, I am the father, you'd be ensnared in that little ring, because that's happened to a lot of guys. To quote Beauty and the Beast, this is a tale as old as time. There are some horror stories of men having to pay for child support for children that they have no involvement with, that they have nothing to do with. So I've heard this one before. Y'all remember this guy?
Wild and unbelievable stories here in Detroit.
This is one of them.
This is one of them. Imagine being told to pay child support for a kid that is not yours or go to jail. That was the order the state handed down to a Detroit man.
So today, he turned himself in, but here's what happened when 7 Action News reporter Kim Russell went with him to court.
Carnell Alexander walked into the Frank Murphy Hall of Justice knowing in moments he could lose his freedom.
I stayed up all night, couldn't sleep, thinking about it.
Carnell is a wanted man because he refuses to do what the state orders and to pay child support for a child that DNA tests prove isn't his. A child he doesn't even know.
I haven't even had a chance to really speak to him, except for one time when we took the DNA test.
Nonetheless, right now, under the law, he's a deadbeat dad. Today, he turned himself in to the judge as ordered.
Scared because I've been before this judge before.
But this time he had attorney Cherika Harris, who volunteered to help after seeing his story on 7 Action News. The judge said he will not go to jail for today.
Thank you. Thank Ms. Harris.
That was one of the stories that was more plastered on the news, because they just straight threatened this guy with jail time if he refused to pay for the kid that wasn't his. It was about 10 years ago. Now, in this instance, I can understand how that could be frustrating, but as I stated earlier, it's really only one of two options. It's either y'all planned this and you made the responsible decision that this was going to be your child, you were going to be the proxy father, or they were taking the necessary steps to get their family back in order, and you were going to be shunned to the side at some point. If there's a third option, y'all let me know. What is it that you think about this story? Do you think the decision is fair, that child support should be paid in this instance? Or do you think, no, this person has nothing to do with it, therefore they should be able to walk away with a clean slate? Whatever your thoughts are, leave them in the comment section. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop a like, and I will see you again on the next one. Be easy, y'all.